It's been awesome. I mean, it is so much fun to be in a locker room when you're winning, and for what we went through at the beginning of the year and the attitude that everybody's had, and what we touched on last week, even after that win, it makes it so much sweeter to go in there and celebrate with this group of guys, because we all know, what we've faced all year and what we've worked through, and another, just a different way to win today, but another great team win, and I thought the defense played really, really well today.
Could you talk about the job that Flores and the coaches have done in, raising you guys up from that start against Baltimore to today?
Yeah, I think the coaches deserve a lot of credit. I think the players deserve a lot of credit too. That whole building, just for sticking together, and his message has been clear to us the whole time. He hasn't wavered in terms of what he expects out of us, and I think, and again, this is stuff we touched on last week a little bit, but guys knowing each other now, playing with each other for a couple weeks and getting practices in, and everything's getting better and better, and we're gelling a little bit more as a team. I think the coaches deserve a lot of credit, and I think the players deserve a lot of credit too for going out there and putting the work in and not being discouraged by the start.
You took the helmet to helmet. Were you okay?
Yeah, it was fun. I took a helmet to helmet and looked and saw a flag on the ground. It ended up being a holding call on us, so I wasn't real happy about that. But, as a quarterback, or even just as a guy that's played this game for a long time, I understand why they have the spotters, and I understand why they call down, and that's for us, that's to protect us. But for me, it was frustrating because I was on the bench for 5 minutes. We were off the field, and I sat on the bench for 5 minutes going over plays and whatever else, and it wasn't until I went back into the game that it was called down to check on me. If they want to check on me, I get it 100%, and I know why it's in place, but there was a 5-minute gap there where I was sitting there doing nothing, and they didn't need me out on the field where I could have been checked. And then also I just sat in the blue tent for what seemed like 10 minutes, was probably 1 minute without anybody in there checking me, in a very key moment of the game. So that was difficult. So I guess I understand why they do it. I like that they do it, but the timing of it was off, and that was difficult for me to understand today.
So all that time is when the game is being potentially decided.
It was it was a huge series in the game for us, and we're going up to the line to start our first play of that possession, and they got called from above, and I had to come out.
Did they tell you you're exhibiting any symptoms? I mean, what? Just
No idea. I know. I got hit in the face mask to face mask or whatever it was. Got up right away, felt fine. Again, I understand the process of it. I just think, if they're going to do it, it's got to be right away, or it's got to be when I'm sitting on the bench for 5 minutes, because that was a big part of the game for us.
Ryan, if you look at this football team, the way it started, and it's a young football team, guys coming and going, and all of a sudden over the last 5 weeks, you've got some traction, you've won 2 games. How did that all occur? How did that team that started against the Ravens week 1 become this football team right now?
Well, we've just continued to come together, getting more familiar with each other, and then just, and we touched on it a little bit, but in practice, there's been such a shift of, the way that we've worked and the excitement that we have and the confidence that we're gaining. Even in a couple of those games that we didn't pull out, Buffalo, at the end of the Washington game, Buffalo, Pittsburgh, you could see this team gaining confidence. And, today was a great example of learning how to win a little bit, because the last 2 games we've won in different ways.
You had some games where you had leads and then didn't hold them in the second half. Now you're doing it. Is this team learning how to win football games?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a process, but I think, today was a great example of that, of, the defense really stepping up, the offense playing well early, sputtering, and then, doing what we had to do at the end when we needed to do it. So I thought it was a good team win and different from last week's win.
This team and this franchise are in an odd situation. Team, you guys want to win games, want to keep getting better, and then there's the other side of moving forward. And the draft next year and all these things. Do you feel that? I'm sure you hear it, you know it, but is that a strange balancing act?
Not for us. I mean, we're competitors, and we want to go out there and play. And it's amazing every week. There's another obstacle to jump over. Losing Preston was huge. Losing Mark Walton to his suspension was huge. I mean, we had guys on offense that were really starting to come along and produce for us that all of a sudden, they aren't out there anymore. So Kalen Balaj comes in and steps up, and in the receiver room, we're going to have guys continue to step up. But it's just amazing as you go from week to week. It seems like there continue to be more obstacles and hurdles for us to get over, and this team is finding a way to do it. And I'm really proud of our guys for that.
The touchdown run in the second quarter. Can you tell us about what you saw develop there?
Yeah, they, that was I thought a well-designed play for us versus the defense that they had. They did a nice job defending it. I stepped up, and our three receivers that were on the right all kind of were running routes that were leading them, either to the middle or left side of the field. So when I stepped up, I saw a lot of daylight, and was surprised I got all the way to the end zone, but I made it. So I still have a little bit of quickness, I guess.
You guys good? Thank you.
All right, thanks.